Good morning, everyone. I'm Andy, and welcome to this week's Team Kentucky Update. Today, we are starting by highlighting an innovative new program that's bringing our education and business communities together. On Tuesday, here at the Capitol, I had the honor of helping to celebrate the official launch of the Kentucky Community and Technical College System's Education First Employers. This is an innovative program that is truly moving from just credentialing in our education system to skills-based training for specific employers. This is truly creating a direct pipeline to our businesses of folks that are ready, that are excited, that will be highly skilled and ready to go on day one. It's also opening the doors of our KCTS system to employers to get them directly involved, to see their needs, to make sure that the exact training we're providing is the exact training they need. This is really a sea change in how the system works, and I am excited that KCTCS is taking this step. Put simply, we're on the biggest economic win streak we have ever seen. During my administration, we've announced more than 870 private sector new locations and expansions, totaling $26.8 billion. Even better, we've created more than 47,000 new private sector jobs. The great news is we're just getting started, but to turn these 3 great years of economic development into decades of prosperity takes innovation like this program. We have a responsibility to ensure that Kentuckians can access these opportunities wherever they live. And we must continue to boost our strong and skilled workforce to ensure companies across the globe have what they need to succeed. A new initiative from KCTCS called Education First Employers is having us do just that. Again, this innovative partnership will expand our pipelines for skilled talent by giving folks the opportunity to earn a stable wage with one of these companies while at KCTCS getting more credentials, skills, furthering themselves towards a likely job at the same or a similar company. And upon graduation, these students are not only fully prepared for the workforce, but the idea is they could start with the company that's been helping them get through their education. This is truly a win-win partnership. I want to thank KCTCS's leadership and dozens of companies making this commitment. I believe when we launched with 45 committed companies. We're already hearing from so many others. This is the future of skills-based education and training. We're really thrilled to be doing it here, to be doing it first, and believe this will give us such a competitive advantage when it comes to overall economic development. We've also had a busy week with our transportation projects here in the Commonwealth. First, I'm pleased to announce that our administration, along with our partners in Indiana, this week applied for a federal grant for the I-69 Ohio River Crossing project at Henderson and Evansville, Indiana. The amount we're applying for is $632.3 million. If approved, it will help us accelerate the timeline for completing the crossing of I-69 between our two states. One section of the project is a new bridge to carry I-69 across the Ohio River. This project is important for safety, for connectivity, and for our economy, especially in Western Kentucky. This is not just a regional project for Kentucky and Indiana. It has national and even international importance. I've said time and time again, I intend to seek and compete for every available dollar, be it for the I-69 project, the Brent Spence Bridge Companion Bridge project, and the Mountain Parkway expansion and extension. The I-69 project is so important. And to give you their own view on how critical it is, we've got videos from Marshall County Judge Executive Kevin Spraggs and Benton Mayor Rita Dotson.
Good afternoon. I'm Marshall County Judge Executive Kevin Spraggs. I'm here with Mayor Rita Dotson from Minton, and we are so excited about the opportunity to have I-69 come through Marshall County and the benefits it brings to us.
Yes, it's been a very big benefit for us in the city of Benton. Off of Field Street, that's directly off exit 43 on I-69. We've had lots of large development. We have Walmart that has completely remodeled. We have our large banking industry, lots of restaurants, and lots of other businesses that have popped up.
The traffic flow has definitely increased from the days of the Purchase Parkway, which, as we all know, traffic flow equates to dollars. Just about 2 miles from here, we have exit 41, and approximately a mile and a half off the exit, we have developed Southwest 1 Industrial Park. We have a pad-ready site there currently that was certified. We're very excited about that. Calvert City has a lot going on there now also as well, and there's some development going on as we speak, and there's a lot of potential growth opportunities there also.
So a very important application that would accelerate the timeline of a project we are absolutely committed to doing. It's really exciting that right now we're working on 3 projects, many called impossible, and we're doing them all at the same time. For the first time, the 4 landing of the Mountain Parkway, every section is either completed, under construction, or under contract. The Brent Spence Bridge, thanks to the $1.6 billion grant from the federal government, is moving ahead, and we're going to do it without tolls. And the I-69 project, we're already doing a significant amount of work for. This would help us do it faster and get the job done in a more accelerated manner. Some more good bridge news, especially for those of you in the Louisville area. The upper deck of the Sherman Minton Bridge in Louisville reopened to traffic Tuesday afternoon. That was following a repair of a faulty bearing that had forced the closure of the entire bridge. Remember, we always have to keep safety first. And when the engineers noticed some significant issues that we believe could have impacted the safety of our travelers, there's no choice but to close a portion or all of that bridge and get the repairs done. I'm proud of our and Indiana's transportation cabinets and how quickly and diligently they worked to get it done. But at the same time, when you reopen part of it, it has to be safe, and they always put safety as that #1 priority. As many know, the Sherman Minton carries I-64 over the Ohio River between Louisville and New Albany, Indiana, and this happened during a major rehabilitation and painting. It was in the course of that work that numerous inspections were being done, and I believe it was around July 27th that we determined that repairs had to be made and be made immediately. The lower deck was reopened on August 6th while repair work continued on the upper deck. So we're proud this thing is back open. We're going to continue to put safety first, but the transportation cabinet, we'll talk more, is completing major projects, major repairs at a really rapid pace. We look back when we had the major collision and even major fire on the Brent Spence Companion Bridge and how quickly that bridge was reopened to traffic as well. Very proud of their work. So just in today, again from the Transportation Cabinet, some exciting news about a major investment in the maintenance and rehabilitation of the I-65 Central Corridor in Louisville. This is the corridor that runs through the downtown between the Watterson Expressway and I-64. It's one of the busiest interstate corridors in all of Kentucky and is critical to some major employers in the region. Those include UPS, the Muhammad Ali International Airport, the Kentucky Expo Center, the University of Louisville, downtown hospitals, and more. It's also a 60-year-old interstate system, and it's showing its age. It has numerous overpass bridges that need rehabilitation, and one of the objectives of this project will be to improve safety and fix deterioration, which in turn will prevent unplanned closures for repairs in years to come. So today I'm announcing that the Transportation Cabinet has taken a big step forward on this project. They've selected a team led by Kiewit Infrastructure South as a general contractor for the project. We are committed to minimizing the disruptions to downtown business, employers, and commuters, so the project team is going to be looking for ways to shorten the overall construction schedule. It will also be investigating techniques called accelerated bridge construction to reduce lane closures. We know how important this section of I-65 is, how important this section of downtown Louisville is, and we are going to work to limit the disruptions, but to continue growth and to prevent shutdowns due to future repair work. This is an absolutely critical project that's been years in the making. I'm pretty proud that we are doing it, and we're going to move forward with it. Let's see, the cabinet is going to start construction within the current budget year, which runs through June of 2024. I can also announce today that I've approved discretionary transportation funding of more than $3.4 million. The funding will go to 24 local governments that asked our administration for help in making improvements to their local streets and roads. I'm glad to be able to offer this funding because these are local roadways. They're where our families are driving to get their kids to school, to get to church, to get to work. And the most precious cargo we will ever transport in this state are our families, our loved ones, our kids, our neighbors. This funding is going to cities and counties across Kentucky. The applicants include 6 cities, including Buckhorn and Hazard, that have such needs after getting hit by flooding. Also includes Manchester and others. There are 18 counties. Those are Barron, Bath, Butler, Caldwell, Carlisle, Elliott, Floyd, Greene, Hopkins, Knott, Knox, LaRue, Lawrence, Madison, Menifee, Mercer, Nicholas, and Washington. We're going to continue to find ways to improve our infrastructure, and I'm proud that now discretionary dollars through our transportation cabinet have gone to all 120 counties. In this administration, there aren't red counties or blue counties. These are all Kentucky counties, and we're going to invest in every single one of them. We also know how important it is to invest in more than just roads and bridges. The need extends to railways, especially to the crossings where cars, trucks, school buses, and emergency vehicles pass every day. That's why we recently awarded $1.25 million through the Transportation Cabinet for various selected railroad crossing safety projects. These awards will help fund new signals, warning lights, and other safety improvements. The awards are going to Norfolk Southern Railway, Paducah and Louisville Railway, R.J. Corman Railroad Group, and Trans-Kentucky Transportation Railroad, better known as TTI. There are 11 selected crossings in 7 counties. Those counties are Hardin, Hopkins, Jefferson, Kenton, Logan, Nicholas, and Scott. So those are a lot of announcements from the Transportation Cabinet, all exciting, all driving us, sorry about the pun, into the future where we want to be. When we have a booming economy, which we do, we are on an economic roll, the likes of which we've never seen. Investment in our infrastructure is how we keep it going. So today, I want to thank Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Secretary Jim Gray, who's here with us, for the outstanding work for him and his team. Jim, you want to say a few words before we get to the last transportation piece? Okay. Before we get to that, sports betting. Last month at the Red Mile in Lexington, I signed regulations to open wagering in Kentucky just in time for the NFL kickoff, tailgating, and college football. As we are here today, we are 2 weeks from sports betting, being able to place those first bets. Retail locations can open on September 7th and mobile applications on September 28th. Just yesterday, the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission voted to approve temporary licenses for sports wagering operators and service providers. A temporary license grants up to 1 year of operation in the state under continued review. With the approval of these licenses, Kentucky bettors now know the retail facilities that they can place a sports wager, where they can place a sports wager, and which mobile applications will be up and running. So here they are. The following Kentucky racetracks and their satellite facilities were approved to open a sports book with a planned retail opening on September the 7th. These, there we go. These are the brick and mortar locations that are opening sports books, where as long as the brick and mortar location is open, you will be able to place a bet on September the 7th. They include Churchill Downs in Louisville, Derby City Gaming in Louisville, Ellis Park in Henderson, the Mint Gaming Hall Cumberland Run in Corbin, the Mint Gaming Hall Cumberland Williamsburg, Newport Racing and Gaming, Oak Grove Gaming and Racing, the Red Mile in Lexington, Turfway Park in Florence. Now, the following were approved, but with facilities coming soon, meaning the facilities aren't ready to be open yet, but once they are, their license is there, and you will be able to make a sports bet there. Derby City Gaming, that's coming soon to downtown Louisville. Ellis Park coming soon to Owensboro. And Sandy's Gaming and Racing coming soon to Ashley. The Horse Racing Commission also voted to approve temporary licenses for 9 service providers. 8 will operate mobile applications in Kentucky. So the service providers licensed to operate a mobile sports wagering app starting on September 28th are Bet365, BetMGM, Caesars, Circa Sports, DraftKings, Fanatics, FanDuel, and Penn Sports Interactive. Details are up on this screen. By finally passing sports betting, we're giving people what they want. They can spend their entertainment dollars here instead of going to other states. And we expect to see at least $23 million in state revenue that we can put towards education, that we can continue to invest in infrastructure, that we can use to expand healthcare, real money to help our people. So 2 weeks from today, I'll be making the first sports wager in Kentucky at the iconic Churchill Downs racetrack at 10 a.m. So September 7th, I'll see you there. Y'all can guess online what the bets are going to be, but I'll be ready to support our in-state schools and, of course, to root against Duke. All right, today some good news on a grant. From day one as governor, my administration has been committed to expanding access to health care for all Kentuckians, and that includes improving care for our seniors. So I'm happy to announce today that Kentucky is receiving $2 million in federal funding to improve our dementia care. Kentucky will use this funding to create a statewide Alzheimer's and related disease coalition of community members that will lead on identifying specific community priorities and implementing programs to enhance early detection of dementia, to improve our dementia care, and to support the caregivers that are taking care of these Kentuckians. Every Kentuckian has been touched some way by dementia. Whether it's a family member, friend, or neighbor, we all know someone who has suffered. So we're making it a priority to fight this disease, and this funding is a step in the right direction. All right, a weather update, and it's important. Remember, at the beginning of the week, we said it was going to be hot, so hot that there was a heat warning. Originally, we thought that this would go through Thursday. It's now going through Friday, and Friday's going to be dangerously hot as well. We have survived tornadoes and flooding and windstorms and ice storms and a polar plunge, and thus far the hottest summer on record. We want everybody to survive this too. Be careful over the next couple days. Stay inside. Drink lots of water if you are outside. So a significant portion of the Commonwealth has been issued an excessive heat warning. A weather watch tells us there are favorable conditions for a weather event, whereas a warning urges us to take action. It's here. Hot and humid weather continues through Friday. Afternoon temperatures will reach the mid-90s with a heat index exceeding 100 degrees today and tomorrow. The highest temperatures are likely to occur Friday afternoon, and extreme heat and humidity will significantly increase the potential for heat-related illness, particularly for those that are working or participating in outdoor activities. Everybody stay safe. It is going to be excessively hot. As a quick update on Eastern Kentucky flooding relief efforts, 65 households remain in 68 travel trailers. 63 are commercial locations, while 5 are on private locations. Since the mission start, now 317 households have transitioned out. That is incredibly impressive, and it means things are getting better. FEMA's now approved more than $108.6 million in individual assistance. And on August 23rd, and as of August 23rd, 736 survivors received the maximum FEMA grant. That totals about $27.8 million. All right, now I'd like to ask Secretary Gray to come up and join me for honoring this week's Team Kentucky All-Stars. Last week, we got some really great special news about our dedicated team members at the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. Our team at KYTC was nominated as part of the annual America's Transportation Awards, recognizing impactful state transportation work. I was proud, but not at all surprised to learn this team won in the category of Operations Excellence for their response in Mayfield following the 2021 tornadoes. From working to fix structural damage, to moving travel trailers, to providing medium-term housing for Kentucky families displaced, these leaders went above and beyond. Leaders like District 1 Chief Engineer Kyle Pote, come on up, and Deputy Highway Engineer Jason Sawala, who both played crucial roles in these efforts, undoubtedly helping our families and the Mayfield communities move forward. And just like all of Team Kentucky, they will continue to be there until every life and every structure is rebuilt. I am grateful that Kyle and Jason could join us today, that they, as representatives of the Transportation Cabinet, are being recognized as Team Kentucky All-Stars. And I invite Jason to say a few words. And then Kyle.
Thank you, Governor. As the governor mentioned, just one part of the transportation team that worked very hard in the hours, days, and months following the tornado, and just so thankful to have been a part of the team to be able to help all of those who were impacted. Without the work of the transportation cabinet partnering with others, things would have certainly taken additional time that a lot of those families just didn't have. So just so thankful to have been able to be a part of those efforts. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Kyle.
Well, thank you, Governor. Thank you, everybody. I'll set that there maybe. No, as Jason pointed out, it's a pleasure to be part of such a great team. I know Jason would say the same. We're a small part of a great team. There's so many people that were behind the scenes as well that helped out in this. My team in District 1 all the way through Districts 2, 3, and 4. Folks in our central office, purchasing department, Laura Hagan, Jennifer Houchin. And so we're just appreciative of the efforts being recognized, but most importantly, it was about helping those people. And that's what we're all here to do. And so thank you.
Jim.
Well, this is going to be quick, Governor, but we are so proud of these guys who represent so many of the men and women in the transportation cabinet. And it reminds me of that old adage. When you hear these fellows, when you hear these men talk about their colleagues and their team members, it reminds me of that old adage that goes something like this: there's no limit to what a man or woman can achieve so long as they don't mind who gets the credit. And this is the kind of leadership that we have with this governor, and we are so thankful for. Thank you.
Thank you all. So congratulations to the entire transportation cabinet for being our Team Kentucky All-Stars. All right, one journalist with us here, 4 on the line. So we'll start with Tom Latek.
Well, thank you very much, Governor. Good morning, or I guess good afternoon. Almost afternoon. I have 2 interstate questions on the I-69 project with that federal grant you're seeking. Is there any fear that because you're getting the $1.6 billion for Brent Spence, that they may say, you guys have enough? Forget about it. And then the second one is the cost of the I-65 refurbishment in Jefferson.
So we'll get you a figure on the I-65 refurbishment. We're starting that project. It's a design build project. So the cost will fluctuate depending on the final design. But we are at the point now where we have sufficient funding to begin. And obviously that's going to be a project that will take some time. On I-69, we feel that our application will be competitive. The last application was a partnership with Ohio. This one is a partnership with Indiana. I think the most important thing to U.S. Department of Transportation is the projects are good projects. And while the Brent Spence Bridge continues great economic growth in the area, so important for goods that are being sent from not only multiple states, but multiple countries, I-69 is going to create that same type of corridor. So the opportunity for growth in Western Kentucky, but along the entire I-69 route is what we think will be very competitive and compelling about the project. And you heard it from Marshall County Judge and the Benton Mayor. This is a total game changer for these areas. You take that and the Barkley Regional Airport, the river and the rail that they have, and boy, Western Kentucky is just going to be in a place to boom. All right, I think we have someone on from WEHT WTVW.
Yes, sir. Governor Beshear, the community of Sturgis here in Union County is facing a serious threat of bankruptcy and dissolving into the county. Many officials are unable to answer questions, and people are scared and unsure about what's going on. Is your administration involved with what's happening in Sturgis, Kentucky, with the community facing this uncertainty?
Well, candidly, I'm just learning about the situation, and it is concerning. And to the people living in the city, it's got to be unnerving. You deserve to be able to get answers. And we hope, especially through the Department of Local Government, to be able to work to get you answers. I know that there are some compliance issues that are out there too that may be impacting funding. Now, I will say a municipal bankruptcy is a very rare thing. It's very challenging, and for any type of dissolution or the other, it would require, I think, a pretty significant court proceeding that wouldn't be in the near term, but takes some time, and there are a lot of pieces that go into it. So we're going to start taking a hard look. When folks in our Commonwealth are scared about what's going on in their community, we need to know, and they ultimately need to get answers. Sarah Michaels from Bluegrass Live.
Good morning, Governor. Throughout your tenure, you've vetoed certain anti-LGBTQ laws, which have then been overruled by the legislature. I'm wondering, as you move forward into your reelection campaign, what can and will you do if reelected for the LGBTQ community?
I believe all children are children of God, and we should all be treated with dignity and respect. The Supreme Court has recognized the right for people to marry who they love, and we've got to uphold that as the law here in Kentucky. You know, I have been the first governor to attend a fairness rally. I will continue to attend fairness rallies. Folks in the LGBTQ community are our neighbors. They're our friends. And most importantly, they are people that deserve respect and to be treated with respect. Josh James, WUKY. Okay, Sarah Ladd from the Kentucky Lantern.
Yes, thank you. Can you address the new COVID variant, EG5 or Eris, as it's called sometimes, our dominant strain right now? I know we're seeing an uptick in cases because of it, so I'm curious what your level of concern is with it, and if people should expect any kind of statewide guidance about it. Thank you.
The new variant is certainly becoming the dominant variant, but that doesn't necessarily mean there is cause for concern. We've had case increases during the summer and other months that happen. We don't see anything in the numbers right now on hospitalizations, at least that I've seen, that cause us alarm. I don't think we are to the point yet where we can say this variant is causing any more serious disease than others. And now everybody knows the steps that they can take if they want to take them to protect themselves as cases are up. And everyone has that ability and should consider their situation. You know, if you are immunocompromised, think about where you're going. You may want to make the individual choice to wear a mask where you're going. And so people should just be mindful that, yes, cases are up, and they should make the individual choices that they feel necessary to protect themselves. All right, that does it for this week. We'll see you next week for the Team Kentucky Update. Stay safe.